Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mandela Effects After Dark. I'm your host, Sandy Diva, and joining me tonight is Josh to get the third degree with 20 questions. How are you tonight, Josh?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I wasn't nervous until you said that, but other than yeah, I'm just
So,
glad to get out of work early.
yeah, I was shocked. I was
I was too.
absolutely shocked.
Yeah, 2 nights in a row.
I know. It's pretty amazing. Um, Let me get some shout outs done really quickly, and then we're going to jump right into it. But I do have to share something with you guys. I'm going to do something different that I have never done before. And I hope it goes well. This is like a trial and error thing. It should work just fine, but it depends on you guys if it works or not. All right, but first in the chat, we had Kitty Cattywhack tonight, followed by David, aka Logan Freeman, Flat Six, in the studio, Michael Fontaine. Josh, of course, was in the chat, followed by Wendy B, Melissa Bible 101, Golden Sai, who's now in the intro, Little Cam 51, Richard Minnick, Criminal, Pushing Button 62, North Star Alpha, Jessica S, Dr. Bob's Nightmare, Astral Fugitive, Curse Black, Spider Bite. Did I miss anybody? I think I got everyone. All right, so here's what's going on. I had an idea for a series, talking to Cy on the phone. I'm like, I think I want to interview the guys. Because, they're on the show all the time, but they don't answer the questions. We ask you guys questions when you join us. And I just thought it'd be, a way for you guys to get to know them better, get their origin story with the Mandela effect, so to speak. And yeah, that's why we're here. So we're starting with Josh tonight because I thought Splatter needed a break. Thought he needed some time to rest. Splatter's next on the docket, and then I got to dig Jose out of wherever he crawled to, and we're gonna get Jose in here. But tonight it's all about Josh. So I do have some things to say first. It's just me tonight. Normally, when we do a community spotlight, I'll have Splatter here, I'll have Josh here, and then I'll have a guest. So I can have Josh write down the questions that are coming in the chat. I don't have that tonight. He's going to be too busy trying to think of answers for me. So what I'm going to ask you to do is save your questions for the end. Okay? I'm actually going to make a comment. Save questions for the end so I don't go crazy. There is a Q&A section at the end. And I'm going to have you label questions. Q:, so that they stand out. Let me get over to YouTube so I can pin that to the top so it stays there for the show. But here's the thing I'm going to try that's different. 1 second. I'm going to get that pinned. Okay, it's pinned to the top. Besides writing questions in the chat, I thought it would be fun, if you guys want to come up here and ask Josh, like talk to him and ask him in person. Like, come up here and ask him your question. We'll do one at a time. It's not open panel. It's one at a time. I pull you up here, you ask your question, he answers. You guys talk for a second. Then I switch you out with the next person. Does that sound like fun? Does that sound like a good idea? We're going to try it. We'll see how it works. Because, again, it all depends on you guys actually coming up here to ask him questions afterwards. Hello, Jessica Davenport. All right, the other Jessica down. And Flat 6 has returned. Tim Mothman is here. Carpool in the house. Hold on. I just moved everything over to this holiday thing. The carpool has arrived, everyone. Tim Mothman. There we go.
Yeah, I said that a minute ago, but then I looked down and realized I'm sitting here talking and my mic is muted. So.
The carpool's here. I got you earlier, little Cam. Thank you for being here earlier, guys. I saw all of you. Flat Six, you were third in the chat tonight. Good job. Yay. All right, everyone. CNN style. What is that? Absolutely not. Wait a minute. When was Flat Six's birthday? I just saw a happy belated birthday.
I don't know if I heard that one.
It's right here. Happy belated birthday of Flat Six from Jennifer. I kind of went to sleep for a few hours, but I'm back. Oh, you're in August. August what?
Yeah, it's really belated.
Now we need to know because our birthdays are in August too. His birthday's the same day as mine.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know we shared the same birthday, Flat Six. That's awesome. I'll definitely remember your birthday now.
Yeah.
Same Fast Henry's birthday. Yeah, same as Madonna. Yes, it is. Flat Six didn't know either. All right, so when's Fast Henry's birthday, since it was in case Fast Henry shows up? Hey, Day Truth Seeker. Anyone know when Fast Henry's birthday was? Because I write them down so I remember them. Well, so I have a record of them so we can wish you a happy birthday. Well, happy belated birthday, Flat Six. What about GT 1982 Mustang? Oh, gosh. All right, everybody just drop your birthdays, and if you know GT 1982 Mustangs, and if you know Fast Henry's birthday, please drop that in the chat. Oh, my goodness. Everybody's asking when people's birthdays are now in the chat. Josh is getting a little reprieve before he... Actually, you're probably just getting more nervous because I'm prolonging it.
No, I'm good.
All right. Let's see about that. All right, guys. Before we get started, please take a moment. Oh, my stuff's all messed up here. Please take a moment to hit like on the stream, especially if you're going to be heading out, like Tim Hoffman usually does. Please hit like on the stream, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the bell so you're notified. Also, donuts are very much appreciated, very much needed, never ever required. We have some new holiday donut because it's I'm in the holiday Streamyard now, so we're not limited to just a few holiday different donuts for you tonight. And when Splatter gets here, I have Kieran or Gurgles, doesn't matter, decked out for the holiday. Lots of stuff to show you guys. All right, let's see. Did we get any birthdays? I got years, not birthdays.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen a couple years.
That doesn't help me. 1970, 1993, 2002.
The real question is Flat Six 49? That would be...
Oh, yeah. How old are you, Flat Six?
It would be the exact same day.
Cushion, I know your birthday. I don't need yours. Oh, Flat Six is a year older than us. Flat Six. Josh is August 23rd, 76. I'm August 16th, 76. So you have a year on us. Jennifer is February 2nd. Okay, I can't write all this down real fast. Hold on. Jennifer 22. Let's see. Little Cam is 116. I think I have you.
That's my dad's birthday.
Little Cam is 116. That's coming up. Kersplack is 816 too. What are the odds?
Oh, wow.
There's 3 of us here, August 16th. Oh, Kersplack. I'm gonna remember your birthday too. 816. Wow. Wow, you were born on when Woodstock was happening. I'm way too old to be. You're not too old to be here. You're never too old to be here. Hello, Adventures with Beth. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, do you see Splatter here?
Is Splatter here?
I don't know. Ryan's saying hi to Sandy and Splatter.
Oh, he might just be assuming that Splatter's up here. Hey, Ryan. No, I'm doing one-on-one interviews with my hosts. So Splatter's alone. Just me and Splatter's coming up later. Ryan S. Put him on my list. Spider Bite is February 8th. Oh my goodness. Josh, can you please keep an eye on the birthdays? I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay. I still haven't found out Fast Hemmy's birthday, which just passed. Tim Mothman is March 10th. Let's see. Are there any other people in the chat with the birthday of August 16th? Yes, Elvis died on my birthday too, but it was my first birthday. Also September 10th. We got 2 September 10th babies. But I don't remember who the September 10th was. Do I have it written down? I don't. We just did a September 10th birthday. Not too long, in September. Let's see. Where did I see September 10th? Jessica Davenport. I should have written it down then, but I did not. Let's see. My best buddy was 9/10/75. Well, son was August 16th. Was? I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hero Wolf says mine is also 9/10.
Oh, nice.
My goodness. Still nothing about Fast Hemming. Hello, Earwolf and I1T. Let's see.
Is Joe going to be doing a show on his birthday tomorrow, pushing? He says Joe Martinez is tomorrow.
Joe Martinez is tomorrow. 12/12. Or 12/11. Because it's 12/11 here now.
Yeah.
So 12/11?
So, we said tomorrow, so I'm guessing 12/12.
Wow, Tim Mothman's dad was also September 10th. Unindoctrinated is August 26th.
26th.
Unindoctrinated. Still looking for Fast Hemmy's birthday. Is it the 10th, the 11th, the 9th? (8/26). Jared Jaguar is October 14th. And 14. Okay. 10/21 for Adventures with Elizabeth. Or Beth. Sorry. Adventures with Beth. 10/21. Barbara's is 2/11. Jehovah's Daughter, Barbara? Okay. All right, let's see.
We already got a question in the chat.
No questions saved for the end of the show.
Well, we had 2 questions, actually. But that reminds me, can when you said inviting people up, can that exclude Sai? Because she's already asking questions that I don't want to answer.
Hey, Mr. Super. I have your birthday, so don't even bother.
Mr. Super.
I am Mr.
What's up, buddy?
Birthday. All right. I think we're going to get started. Does anyone know Fast Hemmy's birthday? Anyone? The closest Flat Six has, it was a couple days ago.
The 8th or the 9th is what Adventures with Beth said. Fast Hemmy was the 8th or the 9th. So, yeah, a couple days ago.
Ryu Gaming is Valentine's Day. Okay. I'm sure I didn't miss any birthdays. Nope, that's when they were given the years. June 6th, North Star Alpha. I did miss one.
I was just kidding, Sai. Don't remember that.
All right, guys, we are going to get started. Okay, let's see. Making sure. All right, I have to write people on my list. I'm writing the birthday ones. So Ryu. I got Ryu on my list. Mr. Super's on my list. Wendy's on my list. I got Jessica. Fizzy Skinny Legs Cricket. Hello. All right. Josh, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Question number 1. Guys, remember, questions after we're done the questions on the panel. I can't write them all. Actually, I think I can go to YouTube on the web and make a Q&A thing so all the questions are together. So we're going to wait for that, okay? No questions right now. If you think of a question, write it down on a piece of paper or something, or just keep it in the back of your head. And like I said, I'm going to open up, I'm going to put the link to the stream at the end if you want to come up here and ask them your question. We're going to do one at a time, not open panel style, like call-ins, but you guys have to join us. All right, here we go. This is the easiest one of the lot, all right?
Okay.
When did you first become aware of the Mandela effect?
Oh, yeah. That one's easy. It was probably towards the end of 2017. I don't remember like the specific, but it was probably October, September, 2017.
Do you know how you got introduced to it?
Well, I basically was, got back into YouTube. I used to watch YouTube a long time ago, and then I stopped for like 5 or 6 years. And then I started watching it again because, because when Trump got elected and all that, and there was a lot of, good information. And then once that all kind of died down, then I started looking at conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Just, 9/11, stuff like that. And then one day it just something popped up in my feed, and it was like a video about Mandela effects, and I clicked on it and watched it, and didn't think anything else about it for a couple of days until something else popped up in my feed, and the more I started clicking on them, the more I was getting, and eventually I found Dan's channel. Mm-hmm. And then I seen his video or something about the Statue of Liberty. And then that's when I seen that, I'm like, holy crap, because the other ones were just, they were the basic, Berenstein stuff. But yeah, when I seen the Statue of Liberty one, that's what book kind of got me hooked. I'm like, no way. It was 100% and on Ellis Island for me. So I've just been interested since then. I've started, searching channels and been, watching Mandela channels ever since.
Okay. Question number 2. Why did you decide to start speaking publicly about the Mandela effect and related topics?
Well, I don't know. I kind of to make videos for YouTube and just never did it before. Never had, a computer editing software or anything like that. And then after like 5 years of, lurking in chats, I mean, I didn't even talk in chats at all. And then, so then finally when I did get a laptop that was good enough that I could make some videos, I just, I'd been taking pictures for years of, residue that I found in real life. Like when I was at Target one time, I seen the book written by Mr. Rogers called "It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood." And, so I just kind of been snapping pictures for years of, residue that I found out in my real life. And so once I got a computer that I could do it, I'm like, oh, I'm going to put these all together and make a little video. And that's kind of how I got started. And then, of course, I met you and started coming on your streams. And that was like the first time I've, ever, gone out and, been live, publicly live. Because even before I was just, making a couple random videos like once a month or whatever. But yeah, meeting you and coming in on your lives has got me, way more into it. And now it's just a lot of fun. And yeah, wouldn't want to stop doing it. I think it's a great little thing to pass the time and get some word out and meet some good people.
I agree. There is something in the chat I want to address because we have someone new. Welcome, Devotee777, who says, anyone notice the Mandela effect prior to learning about the topic? Absolutely.
Yep.
My first Mandela was that I remember, or one of them at least, was the song "Life is a Highway." And I always have to specify because people always think, oh, it's because you're thinking of the Rascal Flatts version. No, I didn't even know of the Rascal Flatts version. It's the version I listened to in high school. It was the original version. And the sound of it is different. It's the weirdest Mandela effect. It was a harder rock sound, more like John Cougar Mellencamp. And now it's like tinny sounding, more pop country. It doesn't sound the same to me. It's different. That's the only way I describe it. It's very hard. Mr. Super Sidewinder, who was in the chat, has a Mandela effect that he noticed in the 70s. And Josh, you said yep. Do you have one as well?
Yeah, I the one that always sticks out in my mind is the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Under the Bridge, where I remember when that song first came out, for a year or so, hearing it on the radio all the time. They played the heck out of it, and it was always City of Angels, and then like a year later, I heard it on the radio and he said Under the City of Angel. So that would have been like 93 or 94 that I noticed that. But yeah, I didn't know. Yeah.
Okay. No, go ahead.
I had no idea what the Mandela effect was at that time. I just thought, oh, that's weird. I could have swore it was angels. But then I just, forgot about it.
Yes, that one was found in the Mandela community around 2017-ish, maybe 2018. And he noticed it all the way back in the 90s. So there are definitely Mandela effects that were noticed before the effect became mainstream. Let me see if anyone new popped in the chat. Roger Ledwell, hello. Oh, I'm putting the ticker up. Roger, you have now joined Pushing Buttons, Astral Fugitive, our StreamYard benefactor, and our Flickr benefactor, because you are now the no ads benefactor for Splatter. So you'll be in the ticker from now on. Let's see.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Says thanks, super. All right, we're going on to question number 3. I have to get back over there. All right, now this is a more detailed one. All right.
Okay.
What was the first Mandela effect that made you realize this was more than just a trending YouTube topic? And what are your top 3 anchor Mandela effects?
Okay. So, say the first part of the question again.
Sure. We'll work on the first part. What was the first Mandela effect that made you realize this was more than just a trending topic?
Well, I'd probably have to say what I just said, the Statue of Liberty. Because once I found that, and I guess that would also apply for an anchor memory. Well, I mean, I don't know specifically if it would, but yeah, I mean, that was the biggest one for me. That's what got me, hooked. Because when I watched the first video, first couple of, like I said, it was just the basic ones. So, they didn't really, I remember Berenstein instead of Stain, but I just thought, well, that's just weird. But yeah, the Statue of Liberty was probably the one that hit me the hardest first. Because I just knew, my whole life I knew, it was just Ellis Island is where the statue was. Everything I'd learned in school and been taught, I'd always wanted to go to visit the Statue of Liberty all growing up. And I'd never been to New York in my life until, so, I just always, in my head, it was always like, I want to go to Ellis Island and visit the Statue of Liberty. So that was kind of the anchor. As far as other anchor memories, you said 3?
Yeah, your top 3. Or just really strong Mandela effects for you, if that's easier.
Yeah, well, Curious George obviously is a big one for me too. Just, as you can tell from, that's why I chose it as my icon. I love those books. I read those books all the time. I had all the books. I had the stuffed animals, several different ones of him. Actually, I think I still have one. But so that so that was a big one for me. And then I guess probably Fort Myers is one that always bugs me because, for me it's changed a couple times, and I don't ever hear anybody ever talking about one of the changes for some reason. And I brought it up to people and, in the Mandela community, and they don't remember, because initially it was, I remembered it as Fort Myers, like MEYERS.
Yeah, that's the one we covered.
Yeah, right. So then it lost the S and became Fort Myer. And, my parents have had property down there for at least the last 10 years or more. I don't remember when they bought, and, so they were like, what do they call them? Snowbirds, for move down there permanently. But, but after I heard that change, one time, I was at dinner with my family, and they had actually just bought a new property, so I knew he just signed a whole bunch of documents, saying North Fort Myers on them. And so I asked, how do you spell the name of the city in that that you live in Florida? And then of course my brother had to jump in and like give the answer, because he had a shirt. He had a shirt from Fort Myers on it, and it said Fort Myers right on the sleeve, but it had no S. And so then, like 6 months later, it ended up losing the E, and then S, or NYER, but then it got the S back. I don't even know what it is now. So I mean, I haven't even looked, but you know what I mean. There was a second change, and people, like, not a lot of people talk about it. So, but yeah, thank God it didn't turn into Fort Myers.
Oh my gosh, that would have been horrible.
That would have been horrible.
Hey, Noise Guru.
But yeah, that one bugs me a lot, just because, my parents live there, and they don't see it, and that's always one that's kind of bugged me.
Was that 3?
That's 3.
That's 3. Okay. In your opinion, what do you believe is causing the Mandela effect, or which theory makes the most sense to you?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know if I really have a theory as to what's causing it. I kind of think that's something that we'll probably never be able to figure out, for sure. But I mean, I kind of like, the multiple universe theory, but that's not really what's causing it.
Just to let you know, the next question is are there any theories that you absolutely know is not the cause? Like you just can't believe it. For me, it's simulation. So that'll be the next question if you want to think about it ahead of time.
Okay.
Just answer them together. It's up to you.
So yeah, well, I mean, I could probably answer that one. Is I don't think CERN is causing it. I mean, I'm pretty not with that theory that it's being caused by CERN. I kind of like the theory of like the frequencies, the vibrations, but I don't know a whole lot about it. So I've been trying to learn a little bit about that. But I mean, that kind of makes sense that if you're on a different frequency, you're going to be seeing different things, or hearing different, or being in a different, which I mean, parallel universes and stuff like that. I don't know if I really buy the simulation theory, although it would make sense for some things, like the glitches in the matrix and stuff like that, or all the synchronicities, but yeah, I would say those are the two that I don't think, and the two that I like the best.
Good night, Tim Mothman. And Noise Guru says, it's definitely not caused by unicorn farts. Definitely not unicorn farts. Earwolf says, I just looked it up. It is currently Fort Myers, MY. The S is back.
The S is back. See? Yeah. But you remember it losing the S initially, right? Like it having the S.
I'd have to look at the presentation. I covered it for Teresa. All I knew was that the MY was absolutely wrong. I remembered the MEY. I remember Fort Myers, MEY, but I don't know if it changed to Meyer or not when I covered it. I'd have to look.
Yeah, because it was right during the time when it was MEYER when it had lost the S, when I was at dinner with my family, and I asked them about it. And then it was a couple months later probably that it lost the E and got the S at the end back. So.
All right. Next question. Do you believe that some Mandela effects have a hidden or coded message? If yes, can you explain this further or give an example?
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope not. Like, I mean, I hope that it's all just, coincidence or fun, but, I don't really believe in coincidence. But I think they do have hidden meanings. I mean, I don't know about all of them, but the ones that I find to have, that changed the meanings completely of what was originally is a lot of the Bible changes. Like the two men in one bed, and one will be taken and one will be left behind. Or the two women grinding, the lion and the lamb. I mean, the lion and the wolf are, they're symbolic animals, and they have, totally different meaning. And so to switch from, or just revelations turning from, losing the S and becoming revelation. I think that's how it is, right? It lost the S, right?
Yes.
Because I remember Revelations, and so I mean, even that has a different connotation. So yeah, so I mean, I think it does, and it's kind of scary, if you think about it in the aspect of the Bible changes, but yeah, I definitely think that has some meaning to it sometimes. But I mean, but then again, you got Fruit Loops. I don't think there's really any difference in the meanings, with fruit being with two O's or spelled the right way. So I don't think all of them do, but I think some of them do.
Hello, Ormine. All right. I agree with you on that 100%. I believe some are intentional. They have messages in them. And then I believe some are just like ripple effect. Like there was a message in one and the things around it happen to be Mandela as well.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Do you believe the Mandela affected share anything in common? Anything in common that allows us to see and remember our past realities? It could be anything. Do you think we share something in common?
Well, the thing that I think I see probably the most in common is there's a lot of people in the community who are Christians. I think that's a big one that a lot of people have in common in this community. I also think there's a lot of people who have had, near-death experiences or out-of-body experiences or something like that, or they're just are just open more to more spiritual things, or supernatural, even sometimes. And I mean, not everybody, but I think I find that a lot of people have that in common in the community too. I would say those are the biggest ones for me.
I'd agree. I would agree. Hello, Riders, and hello, Kenraz. See if I missed anyone. Those are the ones I saw. Ormine says, Sandy, it's a little late for a job interview. He already works for us.
Yeah, I need a raise though. I'm interviewing for a raise.
I mean, North Star Alpha, my Flickr is technically a database of Mandela effects. It's presentations on all the Mandelas I've covered. So, I mean, it's public. The newest stuff is still privated. I usually private it when I upload it, and then after we do the show, I'll go back and make it public. But I usually don't do it right after the show. I'll do it like a couple weeks later, and I'll make like the last 3 shows of information public. But that's technically a database. All right, Woo Riders is dropping donuts, so we're gonna take a donut break.
All right.
A little donut break. Let's see. Guys, please make sure you hit like on the stream, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the bell so you are notified when we go live like tonight. Tonight's a special night. It is not our normal show. Also, donuts are, well, that's the wrong one. Donuts are very much appreciated, very much needed, never ever required. I'll show you one of the new donuts. Let's see. One of the new donuts is this cute little donut dancing with a Santa hat. All right. Back to the questions. Chris Black says, I suddenly have the munchies. I'm
Share
just
your
saying I didn't
Fritos
see
with
that
them.
one. Oh, the Fritos, yeah. Oh my gosh. I ate the Fritos so I could take Advil. I never took Advil. Oh my goodness.
That's not good.
No, I'll take it while you're answering this.
I was going to say, yeah, ask a question and then yeah, go take it.
Yep. All right. Some believe every person is affected by the Mandela effect to some degree, but many deny it or choose not to acknowledge it. Do you believe this to be true, or do you believe there is some nationality that only have the current memory for everything?
I don't know. That's an interesting one. I think a lot of people are affected, are Mandela affected. And so of all the people that are Mandela affected, there's half of them are us in the group that, we're Mandela affected and we acknowledge it. And, we talk about it and want to learn more about it and try to figure out what the hell this is that, we're dealing with. And then is like, oh, that's weird. And I don't like that. That disrupts my world. I don't want to think about that. That, that would change, that would change too many things. And, like that would just like destroy their reality. And so they just choose to not hear about it and not, they just close off their mind to it.
But I'm sorry, really quickly. Good night, Jessica. Thank you for stopping in. Jessica Davenport's going to bed. No. Sorry.
Good night, Jessica.
Okay.
And so then I think from, I run into people, I meet people that sometimes I just think are like soulless, like they seem like they just have no energy about them. And, what I mean? It's just like a feeling, when you see somebody and you smile at them, the natural response is somebody to smile back. And then, there's some people out there that, just, look at you with like a blank stare and, not, you know what I mean? So like, so I think there's a handful of people out there that, might be, indigenous to this, this earth that we're on and, have always experienced this reality but they don't really, but, it's kind of more of the NPC type of people, I think there's some of out there. I don't know who they are. I don't think there's a ton, but so I think it's a little bit of both. I think some people are here and they just always have the same memory, or they've been here, yeah. But and then the people who are affected are I don't know if it's half and half. I don't know what the good ratio would be, but some of us accept it and want to talk about it and learn about it, and the other half doesn't want to, and they just go on with their life and live with their blinders on.
Yeah,
so
I agree. Which brings us into the next question: do you see the Mandela effect as a negative or a positive phenomenon? And why do you feel that way?
Well, I think ultimately, I think that, it could be a negative or a positive phenomenon depending on how you take it. I think a lot of people in our community that, you know, that want to learn about it is, it's a positive. And then, the people who don't want to, look at it as a negative. But I mean, I personally, I don't see anything negative necessarily about it, anything coming out of it. Like I don't see it causing, you know, wars or, uh, bad things to happen. So I look at it as a positive thing, for me, because, you know, I've met a whole, boatload of new friends and, a community, and, so it's been a very positive thing for me. But, there are people out there that it's probably been a negative for them. How you look at it, how you take it, and, what you want to get out of it.
I agree. I would say for me, there's some negative things and some positive things, but the positive definitely outweighs the negative.
Right. Yeah. The main negative thing for me about it was, talking to people, who didn't like it or didn't want, a lot of people have lost friends, family members, and won't talk to them anymore, stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's about the biggest negative I've seen. And I thank God I haven't actually lost any, close friends or, had any family members disown me for believing in the Mandela effect or whatever. But, I had some, associates at work that I was friendly with, and, I'd mentioned, I would, because I was asking everybody at work back in like 2018. And yeah, there was a couple of them that, just quit talking to me, which is fine. Cause I mean, they weren't really friends anyway, but you know what I mean? But I could see it, being bad for people who've lost close friends because of it. So,
Have a good night, Noise Guru, and welcome, Voy. Yeah, one of my best friend from high school. Like I had a lot of best friends in high school, but this best friend, yeah, she just stopped talking to me because of it.
yeah. Well, yeah, Philip Blair is asking lost friends why. But yeah, I just because, they think we're crazy, or they think, oh, they're like, oh, you're nuts, you're out of, some people look at us like that and think, oh yeah, they've gone off the deep end. They believe that some spiritual thing is changing, logos and, the Bible, and you know what I mean. It's like, it's just it's one of those things. Some people don't like having their reality questioned, and so
Sometimes it scares them too, I think.
yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. That's probably one of the main reasons why, is, because they're scared that if this is real and they believe it, everything that they've taught for they were taught for the first 30 years or 40 years of their life, or however old they are, it would just be wrong, and so people don't want to deal with that. They just want to stay in their little bubble, and that's okay, and so I learned early on, to be able to notice those people when I mentioned something, see how they reacted, and if they reacted like, hostile or, not positively, then I just quit talking. I quit asking about them, I just dropped the subject, and that was it, and moved on to the next person. So you learn how to do that quick.
Welcome, Shadow Feather and Morgan. And Call for Zero, hello. Give me 1 second. I'm going to Call for Zero down and I'll get to the next question. Okay, next question.
David's here. Did you say David Logan Freeman?
David Logan Freeman was number 2 in the chat.
Oh. Oh, wow. I must have, yeah. I don't know how I missed all that.
Yep. Number 2 in the chat.
Sorry, David.
Okay. Well, it's funny because the next question is very much related to what we were talking about. Let me just double check something. Did I actually ask you this question already? It's very close to it. Give me 1 second. I don't want to ask you the same question twice. We were talking
That's
about the
all right.
negative and positive phenomenon, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I asked you about?
Yeah. Yeah. If I thought it was a negative or a positive thing.
Well, that's the thing. So the next question is very much related to the answer you just gave.
Okay.
Has the Mandela effect on life or relationships in any way, for example, angering friends and family? And if yes, how did you address their reactions? How did you cope with those changed relationships?
Well, so in 2017, at the end of the year when I discovered it, I had met a lady, and we started dating like in March, like at the beginning of the year, and so we'd only been dating like 7 or 8 months when I discovered the Mandela effect, and so I started asking her about it, and she was like, and this is before like I really knew anything. Like as soon as I was learning about it, I was asking her these questions, and every time I'd see a new video on a new Mandela effect, I'd ask her about it, and she was okay for the first couple weeks, and then I could tell after about a month, like she was getting irritated, and didn't want to answer the questions anymore, or didn't and so basically I just stopped asking her about it. Like I kept watching it and learning about it, and I just kind of quit talking to her about it. And so for the next 2 years or 2.5 years that we dated, like I basically just never brought up the Mandela effect to her at all. So that kind of sucked because like she would have been the one that I would have wanted the most to talk about it, because she was the one I spent the most time with. So I don't know if that affected our relationship or anything, but it made it less fun. So that's probably the but yeah, I haven't had too many problems. When I talk to my family about it, they kind of seem open about it. Like obviously my mom said that she would, she wants to, come on the stream and talk about it. And my brother-in-law said he'd do the same thing.
Really? You didn't tell me that. That's awesome. The second part, your brother-in-law.
Oh, my brother-in-law. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about it one time. We were down in Florida. I just brought it up, and we started talking, and like we ended up talking like the whole night, because it was like a big group of us going out to dinner, and we got sat next to each other at the kids' table. No, not really, but but yeah. So he's open to it, and then my best friend, when I ask him about it, he doesn't. He's not 100% believer in it, but he finds it interesting, and he's always willing to talk to me about it, and he even finds things every once in a while. He's like, hey, I think I might not have a new Mandela effect for you, and then say something that had changed for him. So yeah, I've had pretty positive experiences with I haven't had too many loss of friends or family because of it. So
Okay.
I've been lucky.
Yes, you have. But yeah, Flat Six, it says, makes a good point. It's certainly not healthy when you feel compelled to withhold your interests from your significant other.
Yeah.
Like, even though it may not have been the cause, it probably added to the strain.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Yeah, it was definitely something that, I probably felt like I was lacking in that relationship. Just because, yeah, I had to find somebody else to, because because at that point I was like, just getting into it. And so like I was watching all night at work, every night, 8 hours at work. I had a Mandela effect video or a live stream or something, playing in the background, listening to it and learning about it. And so when I'd get off work and, go over to her house, that's what was on my mind all night, you know, like I went, you know, and I couldn't talk about it. It was just, you know, I had to kind of just tune it out for, until the next night when, you know,
Yeah.
you know.
No, I know what you mean. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
true.
All right. We all know it's important to have someone to talk to about the Mandela, and most of us have many friends in our online community to do just that. But do you have anyone you can discuss the Mandela effect with offline? And do you think it's important to have someone in real life to talk to with, or do you think it's okay just to have online friends, like if that's enough?
Well, I think that having online friends to talk to about it, um, is awesome. It's like, it's amazing to be able to, you know, because you know, if you can get online and, you know, uh, make a post and you have some, you know, friends that, uh, watch your channel, or, you know, your friends have a channel or whatever, um, that's a great thing. And for some people, it probably is enough. You know, they might not necessarily need to have somebody in real life that they can talk to about it. But then, you know, I think others, like it probably would be enough for me, but thankfully I actually do have a friend, one of my best friends, well, my two of my best friends, you know, they're not quite, you know, all in like we are, but you know, they'll talk about it. And honestly, when I went and seen, I went to the movies the other day with one of them, and when we got back, like we were sitting out in the car, when she was dropping me off, and she starts telling me uh, about, you know, things are changing, and like she was going off about, um, about Mandela effects type things, and I don't even think she knew, like, you know, we talked about Mandelas before, um, and she's just noticing all these changes, and she's talking to me about it, which was really weird. I had no idea that she was, that aware of what was going on, but she just doesn't know that it's the Mandela effects, or she doesn't quite, you know what I mean? She's not quite believing that, because I mean, I've talked to her about that before, but you know, because she said something about Smokey the Bear, and I'm like, well, you know, it's not Smokey the Bear anymore, right? She's like, yes, it is. It'll always be Smokey the Bear. That's what it was. It always is. I'm like, no. She's like, they're changing it. So she thinks that she kind of thinks that they're, you know, somebody is going back and changing stuff, you know, physically changing stuff, and like, you know, getting rid of stuff, and, you know, not that, you know, not the super, you know, somehow, uh, you know, you understand what I'm saying? Like she
Yeah,
thinks that there's something physical, like some people or government or something is going back and actually changing all this kind of stuff.
that's the
Uh,
fear. That is the fear creeping in. Like it has to be that they're changing it because then my entire reality breaks down. So
yeah,
that's the fear of that. That's what's talking.
yeah. But she totally sees the changes, and, uh, believes that, you know, things are changing and things, and she just, yeah, she just is using the excuse, yeah, that the government's changing it, or somebody, you know, somebody's doing it, not, you know, not a supernatural or a spiritual thing going on as much, like a lot of us believe. So
I don't know what it is now, but at one point it was Smoky with an EY and Smoky with a Y. And it's just bear. There is no the. Hello, Nakis. All right. Next question. Have you ever observed a Mandela effect happen in real time? Some examples: an image changing in front of you, a song lyric changing mid song, geographic changes in your area, etc. If yes, what did you observe?
well, there was one time about, I guess, I don't know, I have to look, but I would say it's probably been 8 or 9, 10 months ago. Uh, I was making a video about, the song, "The Long Cool Woman in a Red Dress" or "Black Dress," uh,
Mm-hmm.
because I always remembered red dress. and apparently it's always been black dress. So like once I heard it, like once I caught it, I'm like, man, I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about this. Like, I'm gonna go make a video. So I went and sat at my computer and pulled up the original version of the band. I can't remember who sings it, but it said black dress. So then I started searching cover songs, and I brought up the Google search, and the first three songs that the first three cover songs that I found on YouTube all sang "Long Cool Woman in a Red Dress." So I saved those videos, and then the rest of them all said black dress. So then, it was late. So I ended up going to bed and came back the next day and was going to finish making the video. And two of the three links that I had saved that said red dress, they then said black dress. And so there was only one cover that sang red dress, and it was just 12 hours later. So I mean, I don't know if that's really in real time, but that's probably the closest. And I was pissed too, because I'm like, I swear. So I'm like digging through my other saved videos. I'm like, I know it's in here somewhere. And I did the exact same search again, and couldn't find anything but the one where it said red dress. So that one kind of freaked me out.
Yeah. Sort of like I was freaked out last night that a video that I know I watched no longer existed.
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly the same.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Have you experienced any changes in yourself, such as changes to your appearance, health, personality, etc., since becoming Mandela affected? If so, what has changed?
My hair's longer and I'm older. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, 17, almost 18. So 8 years ago, I don't know if I noticed anything different other than the fact, that I'm just simply getting older, and but I haven't noticed any of the body changes or whatever. I've seen them, and I have some of the body changes that you've covered before, but I never knew beforehand that I had that. I just I never paid too much attention. So I would have to say there's no real changes I've noticed with my body since I've discovered it.
Well, it wasn't just your body; it's personality. Any change to yourself at all?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess you could say, as far as my personality, my I don't know what the word is. Like, I'm a pretty introverted person, pretty shy person. 10 years ago, I would have never imagined that I would be bold enough to get online and do live shows, either on somebody else's show or for even do my own shows, which what I mean. So I mean, I think that's a personality. I don't know if that's just me growing as a person and wanting to get out of my comfort zone, and something that I physically or mentally just did on my own, but I mean that's probably the biggest change, is because I mean, like, I hate public speaking. I hate getting in front of a crowd and having to talk. Like, even when I took a philosophy class, I had to write a paper, write a little speech and tell it in front of my class of 20 people, and I was scared shitless. You know what I mean? Like, I just hate that whole thing. So for me to be doing this is probably one of the biggest changes in my personality, that I could come out and do this and be comfortable with it.
good one. Have you experienced shift symptom? Actually, wait, before we do that, I just want to point out Noise Guru responded to you're older and your hair's longer with my hair is shorter and I'm younger. How weird. And Noise Guru is back. Okay, so the next question is, have you experienced shift symptoms that many in the community claim to experience, such as ringing in the ears, sleep disturbances, feeling lethargic or sick, or headaches, migraines since becoming affected?
Yeah, see, that's a good question, but I'm really bad at like associating or correlating things that happen in my life. You know what I mean? Like, unless it's like something like Jaden graduated, or big events or whatever. But I guess back in 2017, I never really thought that this was like going to change my life as much. I didn't know I was going to be getting into it as much. So I don't really haven't paid attention. But I do have the ringing in the ears. Pretty. I wouldn't say all the time, but I would say at least every couple months, if not once a month or so, I'd get the ringing in my ears. And so I've been paying attention more, like when that happens, to try to notice if there's any changes or things seem a little different or off or whatever. And then I've worked third shift for the last like 14 years probably, plus then for like 10 years back in my 20s. So I've always had a pretty messed up sleep schedule. But I mean, I guess now that I think about it, it has been a lot crazier. Sleeping, like I have a hard time sleeping. Unless I'm like just dead tired and been up for like 36 hours straight, with no sleep or whatever. I can't just come home and go to bed, lay down and be out. So, but like I said, I don't know if that's, in correlation with the Mandela effect. But yeah, my sleep schedule has definitely been thrown off in the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm. A second. Salad says ringing in the ears, but just one at a time. And I'd have to agree. For me, it's just one ear at a time. Is that how you experience it as well, Josh?
Yeah, it's always my left ear. It's always my left ear that, like when I have the ringing, like I don't get it in both ears usually. But I don't hear very good out of my left ear either. So I don't know if that's because of something that's wrong with my ears or what causes it. But yeah, it's never both of them.
Naakis, Real or Not for Real is Josh, one of my co-hosts. Let's see. FE Nation, hello. Let me get you down. All right, next question. In your opinion, do you think the Mandela effects, plural, are slowing down, speeding up, or are a constant that varies in intensity and frequency? Why do you believe this?
Well, I think it just depends on the time. I think sometimes they speed up and sometimes they slow down. But for the most part, it seems to me like it seems to just be a pretty steady progression, where, sometimes you're finding, a few more in a week or in a month. And then sometimes, you go a week without, finding anything. But I think for the most part, it's kind of steady. And I don't know why. why it changes its rate of how it's happening. I think kind of like you do, where while they're not causing it, some of their experiments they're doing is changing the or the frequency or the vibration, the tone, and these vibrations and stuff like that can be amplifying or slowing things down, or doing something to our consciousness to make us more aware of them, at least. Maybe they're just constantly happening at a steady rate, and it's us that's it's our frequency that's changing to allow us to see them more often or see them less often. You know what I mean? Like they could just be steady, and like you see more because you're on a higher frequency, or you know what I mean, or I see less of them because I'm on the lower. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, it's. Sorry, I was laughing. Noise Guru put good vibrations.
I mean, it could be. I still think the only thing, there's only two things I could think of that are, well, no, three things. I think three things are playing a part in the Mandelas I see. One, I think I'm more observant of details. It's just the way I am. But maybe that cyst on my pineal gland has something to do with it. Or maybe it's because I'm less than a quarter mile away from where the Philadelphia experiment happened. I don't know. But you never know. You never know. All right. So, do you think the changes to weather, cloud patterns, natural disasters, etc., are related to the Mandela effect? Or do you believe they are occurring for other reasons?
Yeah, I mean, on that subject, I wouldn't say that they're not occurring because of the Mandela effect, or the Mandela effect has had, some effect on them, because like on your theory that we shifted to an earlier version of Earth, it's obviously going to change the weather patterns and stuff like that. But honestly, I I'm not saying that I don't believe that. I think that the changing in the weather is something more manipulated by the powers that be, that run governments across the world, and they have technology that they don't tell us about. And I think that's more of what's causing weather changes and stuff like that than anything. But
no, I agree. I think some of that is the powers that be, and then some things like there being all these different, like new types of rainbows and new types of clouds. I do believe are Mandela stuff, like maybe the newer version of Earth thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's a mix of both, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I've ever heard any, government experiments that create rainbows, or just the fact that like double rainbows are now the norm. When
right.
we never seen those as a kid, or growing up. That was if you seen a double rainbow, you were lucky, and now every rainbow is a double rainbow.
Guys, I am going to remind you that you're saving all questions for the end, because I can't focus on writing down questions and asking questions and focusing on what he's saying. I don't have anybody up here with me. So
we should have put Push into work. made him write down all the questions and.
Hello, Web Got Banger. All right. Next question. Give me 1 second. I have to delete the old. I'm deleting the old one, so I don't ask you a duplicate. How do you respond to skeptics and deniers who dismiss the Mandela effect as misremembering or false memories? And then why do you believe they cannot or refuse to see or we clearly can see?
Hmm.
So
So
the
say,
first part, let's focus on the first part.
yeah,
How do you respond to skeptics and deniers?
I say, see you later. And then, pretty much don't talk to them anymore. Or even, about that, if it's somebody that I'm friends with or I work with or whatever, just go back to a normal, let them, believe what they want to believe and just not talk about it and move on to the next person.
And then part two of the question was, why do you believe they cannot or they refuse to see or acknowledge what we clearly see? Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's kind of like what we talked about already.
Yep.
Is it basically, they have this belief system, or they've built their, they've lived their whole life, believing something, and, that this is the way life is, and stuff like that. And if what we're saying is true, and, there's something more going on, then, that would just like shatter their whole, ideals system, or their belief system. And they're not ready to do that, or they're scared. And so they just, they just choose to, look the other way and, not believe it.
I agree.
So,
all right, this one sort of goes into that too. Have you noticed people are more hostile, rude, or angrier than they were prior to the Mandela effect? If yes, why do you think that is happening?
absolutely, I would say 100%. Yeah. People in general, I mean, not obviously not everybody, but people in general just seem to be less friendly, a little more hostile, uh, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know why it's like that, but I'm just being, in a different, universe or Earth or whatever. I think that's just the way people are here, and I believe that because I've kind of noticed myself falling into that trap. Uh, like, I don't think I'm the same person. So I guess this kind of goes back to one of your earlier questions, is like, I guess I have changed a little bit, where I have become, a little more cynical in life. Like I used to be, like, yeah, I grew up, and, I was trusting and, believe, super gullible, believed everybody what they said. Um, and even, and it's kind of a bad thing, because even when I started watching YouTube, every video I saw, like that people put out, like I just kind of believe, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then, when it could have easily been debunked or whatever, I believed. And so then I became aware of that and started questioning everything. And, the more I started questioning things and people, and, I started realizing that, more and more people lie, for no reason, just stuff, like I was an indoctrinated kid growing up, and was taught to, believe, people. And so I just trusted everybody. And so at some point in my life, I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't trust anybody. And so I just totally flipped and, kind of quit believing everything that I heard, until I went and, looked it up for myself. And, I think it's made me better, for doing that. But yeah, but then it's also caused me to become more cynical of life. And, so it's always nice every once in a while for, to see somebody out there that, does something just for, like, kind of restores your faith in humanity. When, you see somebody hold the door open for, an old lady, going into a store or something like that, things that people don't do anymore, they're just basic common courtesies you just never see. So it's always nice to see that. But I've fallen victim to it myself. And, Uh, just kind of, walked around with the, what was it, resting bitch face. And so I don't look, don't look like the happiest person to talk to, on the streets sometimes. But I'm trying to get back out of that because I don't want, but I admit that sometimes I am.
I think we all are at some point. I think it might be because we can feel. I believe you know my theory, but for those listening, I believe what's happening is the Great Deception, and we are shifting timelines. I believe we shifted at Earth as well, and I believe that the darkness is in control. It's of this earthly realm, and we're fighting it, and we feel it, and people feel it, and it makes them, they're feeling evil. They around them, and they just it makes them lash out more.
Yeah.
More stress, more everything. That's just like the negative feelings.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like there's more stress and tension in the world now.
Yeah, I agree. We're almost done.
Oh, wow. We got through
There's
that quick.
technically just one more question, then the other one's going to be like, you'll probably take the cop out, which is no, but we'll see. So the technically real last question, in your opinion, does there seem to be more evil in our world since becoming affected? If yes, can you give an example? See, the questions lead into each other. So
yeah. So more evil in the world that's affected, that's Mandela affected?
No. Oh. Does there just seem to be more evil in the world since you've become Mandela affected, since the Mandela effect?
I would say yes. I mean, the world just becoming completely evil. I mean, everywhere you turn, but I don't know if it's become more evil since I've discovered the Mandela effect, or if it's just I just started noticing it since I was affected. Because it could have been happening for years and years before, and I just never paid attention to it because I wasn't aware of it.
That's a good point.
But yeah, but since I've become aware of the Mandela effect, and I've noticed that there's definitely a lot more evil. So it could be a combination of both things.
Okay, so here's the final question. Is there anything you'd like to share and or discuss about the Mandela effect with us that we didn't already ask? Are there any Mandela effects or theories you'd like to share or discuss? Like I said, you could just say, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, I think we covered everything pretty good. The only one that I would suggest is if anybody is a fan of Kiss and they know the song Detroit Rock City, go back and listen to it sometime on if you have it on CD, or just look it up on YouTube or whatever. That's one that bothers me too, because it's kind of like your it's kind of like the Rascal Flatts song, or the Bob Seger or whatever song you were talking about earlier, where you said it just didn't sound like the rock, the sound. I think the same thing happened with that one, and it's just Detroit Rock City. I remember used to be like the hardcore, we're in Detroit Rock City, and like now they say it like one time in the whole song, and it's not even it's just kind of like an afterthought. It's like come on down to Detroit Rock City, and it just doesn't sound the same to me, and like I haven't found anybody yet to agree with me. about that one, but other than that, I think we covered everything.
I do not know the song. I'm sorry, but that's a type of Mandela, because also I've told you guys about the Leanne Rimes song, "Can't Fight the Feeling." That was a straight up fast song for me, and now it's super slow. And I'm not talking about any remix version. The original version was faster, and if you play it at maybe like 1.7 times speed, that's how it sounded normally to me. And it's songs sounding different is definitely a type of Mandela. All right, guys. I need a minute. I'm going to go over to YouTube. I may get kicked out. I'm going to YouTube on the web to do the question and answer portion. So give me a minute. But think of your questions. Also, take a moment. Please hit like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell so you're notified when we go live on weekdays, because they are unplanned. Also, donuts are very much needed. Very much appreciated. But they are never ever required. If you would like to donut, links are in the description. Here's some flashing donut cups, coffee, and donuts for you. All right. So give me 1 second. I'm going to go to my channel. If I get kicked out, I'll be right back, okay?
Okay. Yeah,
Feel
I'm just
free
grabbing.
To talk to the chat.
Yeah, I'm grabbing the video I did on Detroit Rock City.
Oh, we can definitely show that.
No, I think it probably has a copyright.
I don't care about that. That's fine. Or you could drop it in the chat.
That's what I'm doing, is putting in the chat.
Okay. So far, so good. I'm here. All right. Start Q&A. Questions for Josh. All right, everyone. There is a Q&A. Do you see it? I may have to unpin the top comment for them to see it. Unpin. All right. Can you guys see the Q&A in the chat?
Oh yeah, so up at the top, like where the pinned comment usually is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, the last time you did that, I didn't know how that worked. Like I didn't realize that you click on where it says ask something, and then it puts your question in. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting.
Oh, good. I can put the chat in a separate window and not worry about getting kicked out.
Oh, that's good. You still there? It sounds like you got kicked out. So we got Nyakus says, you can plan on me. We're going to need a bigger boat, or you're going to need a bigger boat, because you can't count on me or mine. But hey, you shouldn't fear that. Plan on me and hope for the best. You can plan on me? I don't know that. Yeah. I would say you can count on me. I'm not sure. But
I was just saying, how cool is it that I can put the chat in its own window so I don't get kicked out, and then
and
it
then
kicks out my audio.
yeah, no, as soon as you said that, like your sound went quiet, and like you either muted or you got kicked out.
I got
So
kicked out. The audio got kicked out. Now here's the thing: is anyone asking questions? Because I don't see anything.
um I don't know how. Oh, I don't know how to check the questions in the ones that are coming in on the pinned one. But Roger says my
There we
question.
go.
No,
I'm in the question section. No one's asking questions. They're supposed to ask questions from that pinned question in Q&A at the top. North Star Alpha says I did, but I don't see it.
yeah. I have no idea where to look for those questions.
Well, in my live chat, it's live chat top chat live chat questions. And when I click on questions, I should see the questions here, but I don't see them. Let me see if I can do it from YouTube on my phone.
Yeah. So Roger was asking, is there only one way to rock or not? I don't know. I'm guessing you're talking about the Detroit Rock City song or whatever. Like there's there's many ways to rock. I think more than one, but I'm just saying that song specifically. I remember it being a lot harder song. Like they were really emphasizing and yelling, and it was just a hard pounding rock song. And now it just sounds kind of like a not quite a ballad, but kind of in between hard rock and just a regular. So I understand if nobody really agrees with me. I just swear I've heard that song a million times because I only live like 2 hours, 3 hours from Detroit. So I know a lot of
I
people in
can't
there.
see it. It's off my screen. Select question. Did anything come up? All right. What numbers pop up the most in your life, says North Star Alpha?
What numbers?
Yep.
I don't know. I see the 1, 2, 3, 4 a lot on the clock. Like I pick up my phone a lot of times, and look at the clock or whatever, and a lot of times it's 12:34, whether it's AM or PM. But other than that, I don't really don't pay attention too much to that kind of stuff. I mean, like it was weird. Like a couple weeks ago, I was watching a video where they were talking about it was like 11:11, and so he was talking about it the entire time in the video. And so the video was over, and I clicked out of it, and I picked up my phone. I was at work, and I picked up my phone to go on break, and I looked at it, and it was 11:11. Right as soon as that video I just got done watching about 11:11. So yeah, so little things like that. But in general, I don't like. I love the gematria stuff, but I don't. I haven't learned a whole lot about it. Oh, and we lost Sandy again. And she's back. Pushing a month ago or so. 11:11. Yeah.
I'm trying something different. I'm trying to see if I can get to the question. I got the question, but it keeps kicking me out. So I'm going to try to get to the questions on my phone.
Okay.
Like if it'll show it to me there.
So you got to get to them through YouTube.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Okay. Well, Call for Zero had one. He just put in the regular chat while you're doing that.
Well, really quickly, I'm also going to drop the link. If you'd like to come up and ask Josh a question verbally, you can do so at the Streamyard link that I just posted. I'm still trying to figure out how to get to the chat. Oh my gosh, why can't I get to the chat?
Yeah, but to answer Call for Zero, his question was, if evil has taken over God's allowance, like why allow the decay? So I don't think evil is necessarily taken over. You know, I do think that it's, you know, more prevalent now, and I could just now just be noticing it more. It could be the same or whatever. But as far as, you know, God's allowance, I was taught, you know, and raised, you know, to believe that, you know, God created us and gave us free will, and, you know, the evil, you know, the evil is just, you know, part of people's free choice and free will. And, you know, I always kind of wondered, you know, why, you know, a God that's like a loving God and a, you know, caring God and whatever would allow that. But, you know, or when I was being taught, they never addressed that issue. So, I would say, you know, he allows the decay because, you know, that was one of his promises to Adam when he created him, that, you know, he had free will to, you know, make his own choices. And, you know, we all have the same thing. So.
All right, we have someone backstage. So next question will be from Sai. Hey, Sai.
Hey.
Uh-oh. Hey, Sai.
Uh-oh.
I already seen your first question.
Well, you didn't answer it.
I didn't answer it.
Does anyone know how to get the chat on an iPhone? I have thumbs up, thumbs down, share, and save. That's it.
It should say live chat right
It
underneath
doesn't.
that.
It says nothing.
Really?
I got shorts and videos, and if I scroll down, it just keeps loading more videos.
Now, usually it has like a place where the comments normally are and it says live chat.
Nope, not here.
Does it have comments?
Nope, not here.
Well,
that's annoying.
Yeah, that's really annoying.
Because that's the only way I can see the Q&A questions.
Uh-oh, they're saying it's buffering in the chat.
Oh, it's buffering?
No, it's buffering pushing. It's not buffering for me on my phone.
Well, Chris Black agreed. He said he's getting that too. But yeah, it's not buffering weird. For me. Yeah.
It's not for me on my phone. I can't find the chat though. And I need the chat to see the questions. All right, guys, I'm going to close the Q&A because I can't get to it. I'll just ask Sai, hang in there for a second. I'm going to ask him the questions that are there. Okay. Because once I come back here, it's going to kick me out again. So you can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So the questions that were in the Q&A, which I'm going to close, but I can't, guys, don't put any more in there because if I close it, it's going to get rid of them. Oh, I just closed it.
Well,
how do I open it? I have it on questions. Oh, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
So Roger says tail or no tail?
Tail.
Curious George.
Pushin says, since your name isn't really Josh, what is your name? Don't answer if you'd have to unalive me afterwards.
My name really is Josh.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I guess technically, if you ask my mom, it would be Joshua. I think that's the name on my birth certificate, but...
But you had a different nickname at one point.
What, Slacker?
No.
That's the best one.
Your nickname... What?
Ever Josh?
No, I mean nickname in real life.
Oh, Jay.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay, the brother-in-law, started calling me when he met my sister 38 years ago, 35 years ago, something like that. My mom always hated it. So,
Yeah, I like Josh better than Jay.
yeah, my mom did too. She hated Jay, and now she's been calling me it for the last 20 years, and my daughter.
All right, so let's see. Nake says, thoughts on the Genesis mission and Stargate project, along with Citizen Sophia of Saudi Arabia. I don't know Citizen Sophia of Saudi Arabia. An AI robot Jesus coming to a theater near us anytime soon with this Peace Council of POTUS. I don't know about a lot of that.
Yeah, I didn't catch what the question was.
Thoughts on the Genesis mission,
Oh,
Stargate project, along with Citizen Sophia of Saudi Arabia, an AI robot Jesus coming to a theater near us anytime soon with this Peace Council of POTUS.
the only thing in that and that I know of is a little bit is about the Stargate project, and I think that was just an extension of the MK Ultra, or the Project Looking Glass, or something related in that. I think it's kind of crazy that the government was doing these weird secret projects back in the 50s and 60s and 70s or whatever that we never learned about until now. But yeah, I mean that's all the other stuff I've never heard of before. So sorry I can't expound on thoughts on that. But we lost Sandy. But since you're here, Sai, well, did you have a question for me?
Well, I do. First, I want to say good job. You did great. You're doing
thank you.
perfect. Honestly, you are. I still want my first question answered. But my second question have you noticed any changes in people? Since that's kind of what I'm about.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about the changes that I've noticed in myself, which, I don't know if I can attribute to a Mandela or just, getting older and wiser, or, older and dumber, if the case may be that. But I guess, probably the closest thing that I could see is, the change. I think my mom seems like she's changed a lot, just because she's in, situation that she's in with, her boyfriend that's been in, that's in prison, and it seems, just 100% opposite of her personality, and it kind of seemed to happen overnight. One day she was, talking about, people, like why do people get involved with, guys in prison, or people who have been in prison for a long time and get into a relationship, and then a couple months later, then she was in it, that same situation. So that's probably the biggest change, and and that could just be because she's getting older and she's changing her thought, but it seemed to happen kind of quickly. But other than that, probably not too many people changes. Sorry, go ahead.
Really quickly, I just pinned it again. If you'd like to come up here and ask Josh a question, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. If you'd rather just ask in the chat, please write a capital Q, : and then your question so that it stands out. Sai, do you have any other questions? Because Roger's waiting to come up here to ask a question.
No, I'll let Roger come up. You guys are doing great.
Oh, thanks,
Well, thanks.
Ty.
I stayed up late to watch, but I'm going to bed. Everybody, good night.
All right.
Right.
Well, thanks for staying up for us.
You're
All right.
welcome.
Good
Have a good
night,
night.
Ty.
We'll see you tonight. You have a show tonight, right?
Yeah.
You did the bait and switch and scheduled it for tonight, and then I was going to work and I got changed to tomorrow night.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I had something coming up, but I had
Bait
something
and switch.
I didn't bait and switch. I had something come up. But it will be tonight or Thursday night,
You didn't
8:30.
tell me you were moving it to Thursday. You just said you're canceling it.
Yeah, I moved it. Well, actually, I moved it to Wednesday and then I moved it to Thursday. So I apologize. I had an emergency phone call. We talked about it, Sandy.
Yeah.
It was
The double
very
bait and
important.
switch.
It was a double bait and switch. Yeah, that's it, Josh. Listen, slacker, you still need to answer my first question. Anyway, y'all have a good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
I
I'll
don't
talk to
remember
you
what the
soon,
first
Ty.
question was anyway, so.
Oh, if you don't know what it is, how's it feel to be a slacker and the king of slackers?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Well, anytime I get crowned king of something, I'm happy about it. So.
All right. Good night. Talk to you soon.
All right. Good night.
Good night, Ty. All right. We're pulling Roger up here. Thank you for waiting, Roger. How are you tonight?
I'm beautiful. How about yourself?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Good.
What's up, Roger?
No, not much. It's just a basic question to go with your avatar. Are you a tail man or not?
Oh, yes, I am definitely a tail man. He just looks weird without a tail.
Yeah, Ryan likes to argue the point that it's a chimpanzee. They don't have tails. I've heard it so many times from him.
But it's not a chimpanzee. He's a monkey.
Yeah, he claims it's a chimpanzee. That's what Ryan says.
It's a curious little monkey, not curious little chimpanzee.
I'll let him know. I'll throw that at him next time I have a conversation. But thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, I'm definitely a tail man. Cause I remember him jumping around, swinging around on his tail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can think of episodes like that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
was that a hard question for you? No, I didn't stop you too much. Okay.
No, yeah, that was an easy one. You got to come up with a better one next time.
I will. Just wanted to touch with Sandy right quick. Did you get my email?
I did. I responded with an email. I did not get an email afterwards because I haven't checked yet.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I Splatter needs to check his email, and he's got an invite to the YouTube. So
awesome. Thank you. Yeah. I will tell him.
No problem.
All right. Well, do you have any other questions for Josh before I switch in pushing?
No, man. If he couldn't answer half the questions I have, I got tons of them. I don't think he's in genre that I'm. He does touch on it though. But, yeah.
Did I miss some questions that you had?
No. I don't think you're going to be able to answer pseudoscience questions for me.
Oh yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Does Foucault's pendulum prove the rotation of the Earth? Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to answer that right now.
No, I'll have to watch your show more often to get caught up on that knowledge.
I just dig into the topic, man, and I just take what they give me and I run with it.
Well, you seem pretty smart. I love listening to your live streams because you know what you're talking about when somebody comes up and starts asking having these theories or whatever. You just you have the theories to contradict them and to shoot them down. So I love that.
But I try. Not everything.
Well, most of the ones that I've heard, you do pretty good. So
I appreciate it.
No problem.
Well, I'll let somebody else come answer questions. Anybody else back there?
Yeah, pushing's waiting.
All right. Well, I'll step down. All right. Good.
All
Thanks for letting me up.
Yeah.
Right. Bye.
Good talking to you.
Thanks for joining us, Roger.
Anytime.
Have a good night. All right, Pushing, you are on the stage. Ask away.
Wow, I can't hear anything.
Oh, no.
You can't hear us?
We hear you, Pushing.
Yeah, we definitely hear you.
Okay.
Well,
When do you?
Well, okay. If you can hear me, I can't hear you. But I guess I'll ask my question. Hey, Josh. Yeah, you guys are doing great. Also, I wanted to say, but yeah, what's been your favorite moment or your favorite? I guess, yeah, I guess your favorite moment that you since you've been doing the shows with Sandy.
Hmm.
Oh wow.
That's a good one. My favorite moment since I've been doing shows with Sandy. I don't know. I kind of want to say tonight's show. It seems to be like one of the highlights to me, just because like I don't think I've ever been on like highlighted on an episode, been interviewed and asked these kind of questions. And
Okay, cool. Well,
yeah.
I guess since I can't hear anything else, I see what Sandy said in the chat. So, okay. Appreciate it, Josh.
All right, yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Pushin.
Yeah.
If you want to keep answering it, I just wrote down for him tonight's show as a highlight.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really is kind of, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, like, all your shows are obviously fun, but I'm usually like, trying to help or, move, you know, do things and, whatever. But, I've never really had, you're done a show where, they're asking me questions and, I get to talk about, my experiences, and have it all being focused on me. So that's kind of fun, which is, like, it's totally out of my personality, so that's a good question.
It is. Thank you for that, Pushin. I hope you can hear us back in the chat. You're gonna laugh at this one. Fizzy Skinny Legs Cricket says, "Does Josh want to rub legs together with me? We could make good sounds together. Chirp, chirp."
Yeah, that was the first question in the chat. That they put that question in the chat, like before, like at the very beginning of the show, and you were like, oh, save your questions to the end. But it was reworded. It said something about did I want to rub legs together to make the chirping sounds or whatever. But this time they updated it to with them. I don't know you, Fizzy's cricket legs.
It's Fizzy's
Sorry.
cricket.
Yeah, I must. Fizzy's skinny legs cricket.
No, I mean like back in the day when the account first came around, it was Fizzy's cricket. And then the name always evolves.
Yeah, right. Kind of like Hunter.
Yes, like Hunter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I guess I don't remember Fizzy's cricket.
It's okay.
But yeah.
we have another question from North Star Alpha.
Okay.
Have you been able to cause a Mandela effect that you're aware of?
I don't think so. Not that I know of. I mean, if I could, I would. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it would be that if I could. But yeah, not that I know of. I don't think I've ever been able to. If I could, I'd cause a Mandela effect that. I knew the winning lottery numbers, the day beforehand, or something. But
that'd be nice.
Yeah, I can't say that I can think of anything that I've ever done or thought of or made any actions to cause a Mandela effect to happen. But that's interesting because we just watched a video a couple nights ago. We did a reaction video on, and where one of the theories was that us as as a collective, looking into the stuff and watching and paying more attention to the Mandela effects causes it to accelerate. So I thought that that's an interesting theory, but I haven't been able to do it myself. No.
Interesting. You're gonna have to tell me about that after the show.
About what?
It's okay, Pushin. You couldn't hear anything. It was fine.
No, yeah, you're all good.
All right. Call for Zero says, can you see the screen actually, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you read the question out loud? Because I really shouldn't.
Are EVPs heard on digital recorder from deceased?
Do you think they're deceased, or the way I see it, the way I could be misinterpreting Call for Zero. You may have to elaborate. Deceased or demon. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that they are, like, when you catch an EVP heard on a digital recording. I guess I've never really thought about it more. I just kind of one of those things I just kind of always assumed, but I'm no expert on the subject. But I would say that yes, they're from somebody deceased, a spirit that's still hanging around, or like, Sandy said, a demon, or some sort of bad spirit that could have been around for a long time, maybe never even existed in a human body. But I have no idea. Like, it's super fun to look into EVPs and listen for them. But like, yeah, I'm no expert. I'm just actually just starting to get into that because I have a friend that sends me some EVP recordings, and I get to listen to them, and it's weird, but yeah. But yeah, I believe that they're probably from a spirit, of somebody that's been deceased for the most part, but I wouldn't say all of them. But I don't know for sure.
The next question is, if someone put McDonald's in a haunted house and walked away, how long before the ghost eats it? From Shadow Feather.
Well, if the ghost is smart, he would never eat it because it's McDonald's. And McDonald's
That's a good answer.
barely qualifies as food in my book. And if I was the ghost, I would never eat it. It would, just sit there and for 20 or 30 years and probably still, look at, be as edible in 20 years sitting out on a table than it is, when you first get it.
No, not as edible.
Probably taste the same.
No, McDonald's is actually my favorite of all the fast food places, but I know better not to eat it all the time. Oh my god.
Well, you've never seen that video where somebody had somebody found like an old cheeseburger from McDonald's that had been like hidden on their somewhere for like years, and they opened it up and it looked just like it did from the day they got it from.
Yes, and food experts explain it's because the food has no moisture in it, so it just continues to dry out. That's why it doesn't grow mold or anything, because there's no moisture for the mold to grow.
And because the food has no food or nutrients in it that that the bacteria would want to eat.
Yeah, but the mold needs what was that? I just got a message. Hold on. Oh. Okay, so remember how I was saying? Okay. Whew, gosh. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Remember how I'm like, that's weird. We got taken down like 6 times from that video that we were doing, which should have been fair use. It's ridiculous that we were taken down at all.
Yeah, yesterday? Yeah, that was dumb.
Yes. So I was like, well, that's weird, but I can monetize it. There's no copyrights. Well, now there's a copyright. Of course there is. That's what the message just was.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a strike, but it's just regular copyright. All right. No one else wants to come up here and ask Josh a question? No one's got a question for Josh? Did I miss anyone's question? That's it. Guys, without questions, we're headed out. I give them a minute to think of a question.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think I came off not sounding, too ignorant.
Oh, stop it. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, I keep telling him and Splatter that they got to stop talking negative about themselves, even joking around, because it's not good. And he says, no, he doesn't. Did you hear him? Did you hear that? I came off not sounding too ignorant. That's negative.
No, ignorance not a bad thing. It just means that you don't know about something or you're unaware of it. It's not like I was calling myself stupid or dumb or anything. Ignorant is just a normal thing. I'm ignorant about a lot of things. So I'm glad I got questions that I knew a little bit about for the most part.
I would hope so. You've been doing this a while now.
Yeah.
It's not like you just woke up to the Mandela effect 6 months ago.
Yeah. But I've just, to be fair, I've been in the Mandela effect for a long time, but I've just started making videos and, streaming and doing content and stuff about it fairly recently. So
that's true.
I am kind of new to that.
You've been doing this with me for a year.
I know, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems, yeah. I mean, that's crazy. It seems like it's been, like 6 months maybe at the most.
Yeah.
But
there is 2 more questions in the chat for you. But before we do, guys, please take a moment. Make sure you hit like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell so you're notified when we go live during the week. Also, donuts are very much needed, very much appreciated. Never, ever required. Here is a snowman donut with pretzels. All right. David, a.k.a. Logan Freeman, asks 2 questions. First question. What is your overall theory about all of this? And do you think there's a simulated matrix layer to all of this?
Well, my overall theory about all this is basically, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I know that there's something going on. I kind of talked about it earlier, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just something that we're just never going to know exactly about, but the closest thing that I buy into is, the parallel universes somehow are getting merged, or they're meeting and jumping from timelines to timeline or something like that. Or we're just changing frequencies to where, we can be more aware of things that we weren't, it's just kind of a progression. And, you get on a different level, you can see more things. And, whether that's, getting to another dimension, changing your frequency to where you can, see the 4th dimension, or the 5th, or however many there are supposed to be, 12 or 13, or I don't know what physics says now, the number of possibilities. And then as far as the simulated matrix layer, I think it's a fun theory. And I hope not, because, if we're in a simulated matrix, then nothing is real. And, I don't want to believe that nothing's real. So maybe that's just my, my point of view, that, I don't want to believe it, but I think it would be fun. And, it's a fun theory to investigate and look and see, a lot of the videos and the glitches and stuff that happens. It's definitely interesting. But then if that's the case, then that means that, somebody could just turn off the computer or shut down the program, and then, we just all be gone. And And then kind of like in Sandy's situation, you know, like why would they have a, you know, a simulation where somebody's, you know, suffering and, you know, can't, you know, leave their house 90% of the day or 95% of the time, or, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, who wants a simulated matrix in that, you know, because obviously you're feeling, you know, what you're feeling, and, you know, don't have the quality of life that you should have, that, you know, a lot of people do, you know what I mean? So yeah, it doesn't make sense for the matrix, but it is a fun theory to explore.
I will be the Matrix. I didn't see anybody who was disabled. Like the people walking on the street, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. You didn't see anybody like rolling around in a wheelchair or walking with a cane, and yeah, interesting. I never thought about that.
All right, let's see. North Star Alpha asks, do you think Mandela effects are time restrained, as in future, past, present, or other?
I don't think that they're a time restraint, because, you know, once something happens, it happens, you know, throughout all time, and time is really just a human construct that, you know, we look at it as linear, and we've learned it as, you know, this happens before this, and this day's and the next day or whatever, and we look at it in a line. But you know, I kind of think I kind of think the theory of, you know, that time is not linear, and, you know, everything's happening, you know, the past and the present and the future is happening all at once, kind of makes more sense, you know, for something like this. Because if that's the case, then, you know, when a Mandela effect happens, it'll change for the past and the future as well as the present. So I don't think it's constrained by time, because I think that we, as, you know, humanity, don't understand quite what time is. And, you know, I'm not saying I do, but I don't think it's what they tell us. You know, I mean, we just figured out a way to map it out and, you know, have minutes and hours and days and years and months. But it seems like that's more of just like a record keeping process than anything.
Okay. This one, I don't know if you're going to have an answer for. Michael Fontaine asks, what were your thoughts after I was on your show?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I had a lot of thoughts. I mean, that was a while ago, but yeah, you had some pretty crazy stories. And I honestly, I guess my first thought after the show was like getting in touch with you to schedule another one. But I happened to have, you know, a couple other ones lined up right after that, and kind of lost track. But yeah, I definitely wanted to do another, you know, hear some more stories and find, you know, but yeah, I mean, if there's something more specific on thoughts on stuff we talked about or whatever, because we talked about a bunch of different stuff. So I mean, I was kind of just, you know, sitting back listening to these, you know, kind of soaking in all the stories and imagining what they were, you know, what I would have done if I would have been sitting there at my table outside and seeing this, you know, the orb come down, and or, you know, some of the things I was kind of taken back that, you know, of some of the experiences he had, and was super fascinated. But yeah, after next Saturday's show, I think I'm open for, you know, for new guests and scheduling people. So if you want to come back on, tell some more stories, you are more than welcome. Just hit me up.
I think that was the last question. I haven't seen any
Nice.
more. No one else has joined us. All right, guys, last chance.
What are they talking about? Same call for zero says same reason boys burn ants with a magnifying glass.
I was curious about that, so I don't know.
Yeah, I must have missed something earlier in the chat in conversation, but yeah. Yeah, I never understood that. Like I would have I felt bad. Like I had a friend that did that, and I'm like, oh no, you're that the ant, that's got to be hurting the ant. Like I felt bad for the ant. But that was before I was an exterminator. So and then I started, getting paid to kill them. But I didn't burn them, like at least I just put poison down, and then they just died from that. And, it wasn't a painful death. Getting burned alive would be horrible.
Oh, yeah, gosh. Oh, no. Oh, it's horrible. And they're joking around in the chat talking. Shadow Feather says, if someone dies in space, the ghost will keep floating for millions of years. That's not true. Number one, I believe they will go to heaven or the other way. And then Chris Black said, LOL, Space Ghost. But also, ghosts can travel anywhere. I don't think they're restricted to stay with the body. They could go anywhere they want. I love fake space as heart of the earth. But, all right, there's no more questions, guys. We are going to head out. Josh, thank you for answering the questions tonight. I hope everyone in the chat had a good time. We'll be back soon. Probably not. Actually, I don't know. If Splatter's up to do this, maybe I'll do this with Splatter. So, just like I said, ring that bell so you know when we go live. Keep an eye out on the posts. Otherwise, what shows? Do you have a show this week? Is this the reunion?
Yeah. Saturday is the reunion show.
You said next Saturday. That's why you confused me. When you said next Saturday, I was thinking, oh, maybe it's the following one, and I'm confused. All right, so it is this Saturday. Yeah,
this Saturday, but it's also the next Saturday that's coming up on the calendar.
Right, but when I say next Saturday, I don't mean this Saturday. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. If it was Saturday that I was saying it, I would say next Saturday.
No. I say this Saturday. Your show is this Saturday. And next Saturday will be Sai's show. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I just think that the Saturday in 2 days from now could be this Saturday or the next Saturday, because it's technically the next Saturday that's coming up. So I've used it both ways. But I agree. I tend to say this Saturday if it's the one coming up. I'm just giving you a hard time.
This is also the person who will say, when we leave this stream, let's pretend we have a show tomorrow, okay? All right. He'll say tomorrow night, like it's technically we would have a show tonight, okay? Because it's already the next day. It could be 9 o'clock in the morning, okay? 9 a.m. And we have a show that night. And he will still say the show is tomorrow night. And that is so confusing.
Well, that's come from working third shift for the last 13 years.
Uh-huh.
Because in my brain, it's not today until after I wake up, go to bed and wake up. Like when I go to bed and wake up, regardless of, it could be 9 in the morning or it could be noon, I'm still going to say tomorrow, even though the show's like 8 hours away, because I hadn't gone to bed yet. So it's still the day before for me. Once I go to bed and wake up, then it's today. Before I go to bed, it's tomorrow. So. That's why I do that.
Oh. Oh, wait, there's a new question for you.
Okay.
First of all, Pushing gave you tons of trophies
Oh, thanks,
in the
Pushy.
chat. And Pushing also gave you a catastrophe
Oh, cool. Yeah,
at the
he
end of the
always does.
trophies.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's how he does. And I agree, Chris Black. It is almost 4:20 here.
All right, North Star
An
Alpha
hour
says,
ago.
would you consider the idea of a MEI and tests to see if we are different from the general population? And you mean an MRI? I think he means an MRI.
MEI and test to see if we're all different from the general population.
I think he means MRI.
Well, whether it's MEI or MRI, if there was a test that we could take to see if we're different from the general population, as long as it wasn't, put on and, performed by the government, like if it was, an ME type of group that was providing these tests, I would take it. Because I'm curious, that's one of my big questions is, why do some of us, see the ME and some of us don't? And, I don't understand why. And, like Sai said that, because, people are scared of it or they're not ready for it. I think that's her answer usually is like, why they don't see it is because they're just not ready for it, and we are. And I agree. That's probably, a good answer. But yeah, I'm always curious about that as to why some see it, some don't, and then some are kind of on the fence and they're curious about it, but they don't quite want to believe. So yeah, it's a super interesting thing. If there was a test, I would take it. If it was, put on by the right people.
All right. See if there's anything else. Nope, that's it. All right, I'm going to end it here since, it could go on and on with taking a pause and then next thing you know, there's another question.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you all for being here and participating tonight. Thank you again to Josh for being here, being a good sport, answering all the questions. Let me do a quick shout out. Let's see.
Yeah, they did correct. Say MRI is what they meant.
Yep.
So yeah.
Hey, Parody Mike, just in time for the shout outs.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Okay. Thank you, Heart of the Earth. All right, here we go. First, in the chat tonight, we had Kitty Caddywhack, followed by David A.K. Logan Freeman, and Flat 6 in third place. Then we have Michael Fontaine, Josh, Wendy B., Musa Bible 101, Golden Sai, Little Cam 51, Richard Minnick, Preliminal, Pushin' Button 62, North Star Alpha, Jessica S., Dr. Bob's Nightmare, Astral Fugitive, Chris Black, Spiderbite, Jennifer, Jessica Davenport, Tim Othman, J Truthseeker, Adventures with Beth, Ryan S., Earwolf, I1T, Mr. Super Sidewinder, Ryugami Mikado, Fizzy Skinny Legs Cricket, Philip Blair, Devotee 777, Roger Ledwell, Noise Guru, Ormane, Kenraz, Woo Riders DG, Voy, Morgan, Shadow Feather, Coffer Zero, Maicus, Salad, Effie Nation, Web Got Banger, The Heart of the Earth, Anorexic Dyslexic, Parody Mike. Did anyone else join the chat while I was reading names? I think I got everyone.
I don't think so. Yeah. You got everything.
All right, everyone, for the last time tonight, before you leave, please make sure you hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. Doesn't cost you anything, but it helps the channel a lot. Also, if you're not subscribed, you've been having a good time the last few shows, please consider subscribing. Ring the bell. Become part of our family here, because this is what it is. The best chat on YouTube is in this chat right now. They
I
are the
agree.
best.
100%.
Also, donuts are very much needed, very much appreciated. They are never ever required. And since this is your show, Josh, here is your favorite donut right here for Christmas.
Now you're going to make me want to go get some donuts.
Hello, Louie. Thank you for joining the stream.
Oh, she's talking to you. Yeah,
All right.
he's about ready for breakfast. So
Thank you all for being here tonight. Let's see. Let's use a different one. Thank you all for being here tonight. We will see you very soon. Get some rest. Let's see. Oh, you're sharing your channel. I can pin that. Let me do that right now.
what'd you say?
I'm pinning the channel you're sharing.
Oh, that's Hard Earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I'm pinning it.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah. I love his channel.
Yeah. Push in is also reminding everyone to hit that like button. Well, Josh, is there anything you want to say before we head out?
I'd just say, if you're free Saturday night at 8:00, I will be doing a show for basically just kind of a hangout. It won't be like a super formal show and no specific topic. I'm just going to be hanging out with hopefully 13 of my friends that I've had on my Higher Minds episode over the last couple months for kind of like a 15 episode little special reunion. So we're just going to be hanging out, talking to, all my previous guests. So, and if you don't know who I've interviewed so far, just you can go to my channel and check them out. But we'll be there at 8:00 on Easter, 8:00 Eastern Saturday night until midnight until Sandy show, and then we can just all hop over onto Sandy show and have a fun weekend.
Yep. And I am going to try to hang back and not join unless there's plenty of room for me to hop on, because I always get to join the shows. So this way more of you that were on his show can join and have a good time. But if there's room, yeah, I'll hop on, but I'm going to hang back first and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely going to be room, because if there's room for 9 people, there's technically only 12 people that may possibly show up, because I've only had 13 guests, even though I've had 15 shows, and my mom's probably not going to show. So 12 people. So, there's only, if everybody showed up at once, there would only be 3 people. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm sure that you can hang out with us, and
like I said, I'll
there'll be
keep an eye on the
room.
panel. I'm going to be working anyway, so.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on it. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful night. No, the carpool is already here, Michael. There
Yeah,
was
right. We
already
didn't.
a carpool.
Yeah, we didn't start till 3:00, so the carpool showed up like 5 minutes after we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, like I said, have a great night. Thank you again to Josh. Thank you again to all of you. And we will see you soon. Say goodnight, Josh.
Yeah. And thank you for, doing this, and it was fun talking to you, Sandy. So good night, everybody. Good night, Sandy. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Smash the two, smash the two, smash the two, smash the two. Turn the strap up, turn the strap up, turn the strap up. Gonna strap up, gonna strap up, gonna strap up, please turn it off. Why must we watch Friends? 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 I've seen the show about 1,000,000 times. Not even funny when I'm drunk or high. Why must we watch Friends? Why must we watch Friends?
Is that freaky?
Why must we watch Friends?
Wait a minute.
This reality is not going to be very pleasant when all the good people leave.
I'm telling you now for the 100th time to change the
Isn't even close. How could you say otherwise? The land's
Everybody, Hebrew 77 here.
I'm doing good. Now that I'm home and off work.
Why must we watch Friends? That laugh track is so welcome to me.
Fog that's happening over across everywhere.
No. Pastor of Muppets.
This Asian man propagate never too late. Yes,
Working on Baby, It's Cold Outside.
Part of your world, it's reflecting.
We all come from different realities, like I explained last week.
Then watch TV, sit down and catch those LA. Why must we watch Friends? 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 Why must we watch Friends?